Hi, folks. I'm your host, Fred Cilbrith, and welcome to another edition of Keeping It Real. Unfortunately, Dave King and Dave Ryan couldn't make it with us today, so I will be your host. Today's topic is tattoos. With that, let me welcome our guest to the show, Scott Gutierrez. Scott, welcome
How you
to
doing?
the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to have you. So, first question I got for you is, how did you get started doing tattoos?
I started tattooing back in 2010. I actually just ordered a set and I just picked it up and started tattooing. To be honest, I started in my bedroom.
That's cool.
Tattooed a couple of my friends and got better. You know, I'm still at it. 5
So,
years.
How long does it take to get a tattoo done? Does it depend on the size or?
Yeah, it depends on the size and the style you want. Also color, no color. Also the placement too, because sometimes you want to stretch out the skin for certain things, and there's other canvases where you just easily just lay it there and it just gets done. But there's other like the ribs, you'd want to like stretch it out. So and as people move, it delays the process. So
what
really
was the
depends on
age
where
that you
get it.
started at?
Tattooing, or started getting tattoos?
Starting drawing, tattooing.
I've been an artist all my life. I've been drawing ever since I was a young kid. I always tell people I was never a normal kid because I never played with Nintendos and stuff like that. I always picked up my sketchbook and like a crayon box and just did my own little thing.
So you were the kid in the back of the class drawing and sketchbook?
Yeah, I was always drawing. Like if you see my notebooks, they had drawings on the sides.
Yeah.
On my tests.
I was like, that was cool too. What was the hardest tattoo you ever did?
Hardest tattoo? Well, I've done a couple that like uncomfortable spots. Like finger tattoos are very uncomfortable.
Yikes.
Rib tattoos. I've actually had this time where I was working at my own shop over there on the west side of the Bridgeport. This kid got his first tattoo, like his first rib tattoo, and it was actually his first tattoo overall. So I'm over here telling him like, he should change his spot because I got my rib, and I was telling him it hurts really bad. Like I only did like 2 hours, and then I gave up. So I told him you should probably think about it, placement wise. And he was like, no, it's all right. I'm pretty stuck on this spot. So I was like, okay. Started tattooing him, and just to do a couple words that said "trust no one" took me like an hour to do, which is only like this big because every line I would do, he would shake. So every line I'm fixing, I would have to fix the next line, and it was a nightmare, man.
That's crazy. Folks, the one thing that they show you in tattoo programs such as Miami Ink and LA Ink, the worst spot to get a tattoo at is your rib cage.
Exactly.
The next is probably your foot. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I don't have my tattoo. I mean, I don't have my foot tattooed, but I have tattooed like on people's feet. And some people actually have tears come out their eyes, and some people just sit there and have a full-blown conversation with you. So,
have you ever had meaningful tattoos, like memoriam tattoos, or meaning
that I've done on people, or do I have
that either you have or you've done on people?
Yeah, I have a couple of tattoos on myself that very meaningful to me. Like I have my daughter's name on me. She's 9 months now. I have my parents' date of birth on my chest. I got like my cousin's initials that are like more of like brothers and sisters to me. I got them like initials on my arm and stuff like that. I've done a lot of memorial pieces on people, like people pass away, maybe like friends or brothers, siblings, and those always touch me more than other tattoos because you're actually giving something back to somebody. So you put your all into it, and at the end of the day, they're very proud of it and they're proud to show it off. And
That's cool.
And I'm proud of it as well. So,
is it true that like when people come into a tattoo shop, they tell you a story while getting the tattoo and the reason?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. But there's a lot of people that just wake up that day and just want a tattoo, and they'll come in and they'll be like, you know what, I want this, and it really has no meaning. But for the for them, I'm sure it has the meaning for them. But to me, it was just like a cartoon. I'll just be like, why is he getting this? But everyone has their own purpose on why they're getting it. And like for sometimes I really don't ask, because sometimes it's more of a personal thing. But when it's something that I feel like I can ask, I'll take that extra step and ask them, just to get them more comfortable, and open up to me and stuff like that. So it's a cool thing about tattooing. You meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah. Speaking of like people that have come in the shop and stuff. Have you ever gotten people that like come in drunk for a tattoo or like?
Yeah, I
wanna-
have, and we're supposed to turn them down because if anything happens to them, then
Yeah.
we're liable because now we're in their shop and now they're in our hands. So you usually want to turn them down. Same thing for smoking, anything like that. You want to just tell them to sober up a little bit and maybe come back later, or if not, another
Right.
day, a fresh start. Try to keep it sober.
Does it make a difference when doing the tattoo? Because I heard when if you do stuff like that, your blood is like thinner.
For the most part, if you've been drinking like all week and say you get a tattoo like Monday morning and you've been drinking all from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then it's really bad because your blood is really thinned out. But if you're just drinking like a beer while you're getting it or something like that, that's not a problem because you're not excessively drunk to the point where you're moving and you're making it harder on me. So
Right.
I wouldn't suggest it, but
Have you ever done a favorite tattoo? Like your most favorite tattoo that you've ever done?
favorite. Honestly, I think always the last one that I always do is always my favorite one because I feel like I get better every time. So
Yeah. It's like doing a TV show.
right. So every time you do your last one, it's like, oh, I've just put my all into that, and you're proud of it. You want to show it off.
Is there a preferred style that you do?
Um.
Like some people do portraits, graffiti work.
Yeah.
Koi fish is like another
Okay.
big thing in the tattoo.
Well, I started
community.
off in high school, started doing graffiti and lettering and stuff like that. So I pretty much started with lettering, and I like the whole graffiti kind of cartoony kind of style. I like doing comic books. I like neo-traditional, old school traditional. I like very bold lines, solid colors. Not very too big on realism because I feel like everyone has their strong point. I don't feel like that's my strong point yet, so I wouldn't put that out there. But I mean, it's always fun to challenge yourself, so challenge is always good.
What does tattooing mean to you?
Tattooing to me means my life. I live by it. I do everything by it. It feeds my daughter, feeds my girl, feeds our son. So, I put my everything into it. So whenever I can go to work, I go to work whenever I like. And once it's closed, sometimes I stay after. I'll just draw, or just think of new ideas and stuff like that. So I feel like tattooing is a craft that you can never finish learning, So it's always good to just keep wanting to learn and keep an open mind,
Have you done that consistently over the years?
What's that?
Learn from past experiences as well as build on new things?
Yeah, for sure. You always want to, if you've done a mistake once, you kind of don't want to do it again because, it's sewing skin. So, but usually when you first start out tattooing, you want to tell, people, I just started tattooing. So you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to do your father's portrait on you. And you don't know what you're doing, So
Right.
you want to just keep it professional and, want to keep people coming back to you. So you don't want to overshoot something and be like, I do this and do that. And then finished product comes out looking horrendous, So you want to stay in your lane and do what you got to do. And, always just, like I said, keep wanting to learn.
Folks, I know that there are some people that have gotten tattoos that really don't like their first tattoo,
Mhm.
where they want to get a cover up. So have you ever done a cover up before?
Yeah, I've done a couple cover ups. Those are usually a little harder because now you're covering something that they don't want, and at the same time you're trying to give them an outstanding tattoo at the same time. So it's very challenging, but it's once the outcome is done, you're very proud of it because now you please them, and you please them twice if you think about it because you covered up what they didn't want and you did a great tattoo on top of it. So
Is it harder doing a cover up than a first tattoo, like a fresh one?
Yeah, because like I said, the whole point of a cover up is to cover up what they don't want.
Right.
And at the same time, you don't want to go too dark to the point where they're like, "Oh, is that a cover up?" You want to, you want it to show that it's a fresh tattoo, but at the same time, they still get what they came in the shop for, and that's to get it covered up. So.
Have you ever? What was your most priciest tattoo?
Priciest? I really can't tell you from the top of my head, but usually when I do sessions, probably charge maybe $250 a session, and maybe they do 4 4, 5, 6 sessions. You know, if they want a whole sleeve, so we'll do like one section at a time, and we'll just keep moving up. So overall, I'm probably looking at about like $1,000 and or so.
How long does it take? Like, how many hours? I know I asked this earlier, but
Like I said, it depends on what they want. If they want like a full sleeve, depending if they want color, black and gray. So one day you might do the outline like bottom half, and then maybe next time you'll do the upper half, and then you'll start coloring the inside and then the outside. So you're probably looking at about a good like maybe 5, 6 sessions or so.
wow, that's gotta be about like what, 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah, you're probably doing like 2 or 3 hours tops on each section. So overall, you're probably looking at about like a good 12, maybe to 16 hours or so. You know.
Folks, I couldn't sit that long. I'm telling you right now, I could not sit that long. You'd have to piece it on me or something.
Yeah. That's why you don't want to rush tattoos as well. You want to, get everything right and then keep building on it instead of just trying to rush everything and do it all in one day, because you're not going to get the best product,
Do you ever have people that come into your shop and want like what do they call it? A free hand tattoo where they have it actually sketched on them? Because I've seen that with certain shows, folks.
Oh, you mean like freehand?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes that's more meaningful because you're not you're actually drawing out from the top of your head, so you're not looking at something to the point where someone comes in with a tattoo off Google or something like that, and they'll be like, I want this same tattoo, and you as an artist, your job is to be like, you know what, let me switch this up, so that way you don't have the same tattoo as someone else,
right?
And because that tattoo means something to them, which that tattoo means nothing to you because you're just copying their tattoo. So
yeah, so you try to make it original each
right,
time.
you want to do it as custom as possible.
Yeah. Sorry, folks. What is your favorite part about tattooing?
My favorite part, I would say, is actually getting to know different people, hearing their stories on why they get it. Also, getting better every day as you go. Always trying to progress. And just the fact that you can help somebody. I always say that tattoo artists are like part-time psychologists, because people come in there with their problems and and they'll talk to you the whole time, and you try to just them talking to you opens up, so they kind of release what they had built up in them. So
right.
And then you learn a little bit about them too as well. So
what was the most sentimental tattoo that you ever got or did?
Sentimental, I would have to say I had a good friend that passed away about like a year ago, and I actually got to tattoo his brother and his family, in memory of him. So, and that was like my little brother, I would say. So, it was really hard. I couldn't believe that I was actually tattooing like RIPs and my boys, and it was like, it kind of blew my mind. But I'd rather they'd rather have me do it than anyone else that had nothing to do with knowing him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that hit home, I would say, because it kind of teared me up a little bit, because it's like you're doing a memorial piece for your friend, and it's kind of sucks. But
what was the piece, if you don't mind me asking?
Just like rest in pieces. It would say rest in peace Ryan, or we had this little crew thing where we all got forever family on our chest, and he was one of the first ones to get it out of like all of us. So then after that, I ended up doing that on his brother as well. So, and it ended up being like a crew thing, So it was very, very sentimental to us. It hit home, like I said. So,
what about being an apprentice? I know a lot of people come in the shop and they want to be an apprentice and learn to do it. And I've seen different shows, folks, where they literally have you clean the and they have you load the machines. And what's that been like? Have you ever had people come in and want to be apprentice on you?
Yeah, we actually have a couple people that are apprenticing at the shop right now where I work at, and the key is to get them to understand the whole world of tattooing. So you want to make them appreciate it by like you said, they start cleaning off toilets, they start mopping the floor, they take care of the shop before they take care of them, so they appreciate the whole business and what goes around it. So that's a good thing, that they do that. But overall, you teach them how to the fundamentals of drawing, teach them placements and certain things. How to stretch the skin, how to apply colors, how to tune your machines, because all that stuff matters. It's like a tripod. If one of the legs is knocked out, the other ones don't work. So everything, it's mathematics. So
Right.
you want everything to correspond to each other.
What would be the advice you would give to somebody or somebody, folks at home here, the advice you would give them in order to get into tattooing?
To get into tattooing, I would say give it your all. Like I said, breathe, eat, sleep tattoos. Whenever you get a chance, draw. Always, like I said, never stop giving up on learning. Always want to do better. Always want to master your craft. And I would say take one step at a time. Don't try to rush and do everything all at once. Like become the greatest tattoo artist, because that's not going to happen right away. You want to take your time and finesse everything and, put your all into it.
Is there I know I'm going to go back to apprentice real quick, but has there been an apprentice where that has come on as a crew member in the shop?
Yeah, we've actually had a couple people that start off apprenticing, and then once my boss feels they're ready for it, he'll put him to the test. They put him under pressure, and like do his little circle and have them sit in the middle, and all of us watch them as they tattoo. Because that's the only way you're gonna learn how to tattoo. If you're under pressure, you gotta remember people are watching you as you're doing this. So. Yeah. The pressure, some people work better under pressure. So I think I'm one of those that you put me under pressure where everyone's looking at me. I gotta do my best, because I feel like everyone's looking at me. So you gotta give it your all.
Yeah, I mean I'm under pressure now, but
yeah.
But speaking of under pressure, I heard like some of the old tattoo guys, like in California and Miami, they'll have you tattoo on yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Do you guys do that, or?
I've actually tattooed myself just because for the fun of it, but not really apprenticeship. But like some of the guys at the shop, I'll have them have them tattoo me like a quick little something, like a quick little 5-minute tattoo, just to see how comfortable they are, how they hold the machine, make sure they're not shaking as they hold it and stuff like that, because you want steady lines when you get a tattoo, so you don't want to look like
the lines going
right. You don't want to look like a 30-year-old did it on you. So you want to make sure you take your time and do your thing. If you're a slow tattoo artist, take your time. If you're fast at it, do what you got to do. But I always say take your time and make sure you do everything, execute it right. So
would you say that tattooing is more of a precise line work type of field?
Yeah, it's a very mental straining kind of art, because you're focusing on not messing up on somebody. This is a permanent work, so your key is to give it your all, stay focused, and be clear-minded, and just do what you got to do. Take it on as like, I tell people, take it on as if it's your first tattoo, because you put your all into your first tattoo, so you want to do that for every tattoo you do. Right. You want to make sure everything's precise. You put your all into it, and the person's proud of it, and as long as you're proud of it, that shows the person that has it that they're, it could be proudly shown out. Because I feel like if the artist is not proud of it, then you shouldn't be proud of it, because they didn't put their all into it. They just gave you whatever they just wanted you, and just took your money. I
mean, kind of going back to freehand tattoos a little bit. Have you ever had somebody come in the shop and said, "Okay, I want this tattoo, but I don't know how to do it," and they just give you total creative freedom, as they call it?
Yeah, that's the best way a tattoo comes out. Usually, when someone gives you your whole total freedom, it gives you a chance to go into your mind and be like, what, I think this should look better, because usually the person doesn't visualize it as you're telling them. Like, I can tell you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they'll just look at me like,
right. Like what?
Like why are you doing all that? But when you actually start doing it, and you start putting, drawing with the marker, and you do your final outline and stuff like that, they look at it and they're like, oh wow, now I see what you meant, because some people aren't visual, so it takes an artist to kind of break that out and show you what the outcome is going to be, so that's always cool. That's how the best tattoos come out, like I said.
So have you ever like gone tattooed on bone before?
Yeah.
Besides the ribs?
Like the ribs, the top of your hands, that's like all bone. Top of the foot, elbows hurt really bad.
I thought about kneecaps.
Yeah, kneecaps. The shin right here hurts. Anywhere you're bony, like collarbones and all that stuff hurts.
So, what's the favorite piece of tattooing that you have on you? Like, what's your favorite tattoo that you have?
Right now, I would say either the rose I have in my hand, or my daughter's name under my chin, just because it symbolizes my daughter. I got the flower to symbolize new life when I found out I was having a baby girl. So, it's like a blossoming new life, welcoming. So,
Nice.
And then her name, because it has her name on it. So,
Yeah. One thing they tell you folks is when you pick a tattoo, you need to make sure you really want it, because it's going to be on your body for the entirety of your life.
That's the only thing that you take. True? That's the only thing you take with you to the grave. That's it. So you got to be certain.
I mean, with the body as a canvas, they always say like that the body is a canvas when it comes to tattooing. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
I do, because I work on a body every day, so that is my canvas. A lot of people, this is a misconception where a lot of people think just because you can draw, you can tattoo. Unless it's like a totally different thing, like totally different ballpark. Best way to explain tattooing is like drawing on water. So if that makes sense to you, then I think you can be a tattoo artist. But if it doesn't, then it's like it's just mind blowing, because like how do you do that,
Yeah. I mean, does it vary in age? Because they have some people are like my age. I'm 28, so you'll have people my age or older come in. You'll have people in their 60s come in. Does the skin vary?
Yeah,
at different ages?
If they're in the older side, they're like senior citizens or almost there. Their skin is very stretchy, so it's kind of very loose. So you want to be able to stretch the skin out as much as you can, just like you would do anyone else. Only thing that they have that extra skin that's just hanging off there, so you want to just give it that extra pull. So you want to be careful too. Everybody's skin is different, so you can't beat up everyone's skin like you would do the last person you just tattooed. So sometimes you'd have to turn up the voltage. Sometimes you want to turn it down, depending on the canvas, and how they take it. So,
I mean, I know the biggest thing with tattoos is people like say, "Oh, it hurts," and I've heard from different people where it's just like a nail scratching into your skin. Is that true, or does it hurt at all?
It does, but it's a very bearable hurt. Like, it's not to the point where I would say you would give up and be like, all right, just stop. But some people have, like, they'll do like an outline and they'll come in and try to get the whole tattoo done, and they'll just be like, I want to just stop here because it hurts too much. So, but for the most part, everyone takes it good, and if it does hurt, you want to just break it down into sessions, so that way they're not in so much pain.
Have you ever finished a tattoo and somebody looks in the mirror and they cry? Because a lot of people cry once they first get their tattoos.
Yeah. Especially, like I said, especially for those meaningful tattoos, like a memorial of somebody or a pet or something like that. Something that means a lot to them. They'll look at it and, as long as it's executed right, they'll give you that little tears and stuff like that. And that makes you proud, because that lets you know you did your job as an artist and as a person. You soothed them and you made them feel comfortable enough to cry in front of you. So that's very cool. It's very passionate,
I mean, we're kind of coming to the end of our show, but I know you brought a book with you, so if you could like show some of the artwork for a minute or so.
Sure. Here. Oh, okay.
Wait a minute, folks. Yeah. It looks like
it's like compass with some
it's
roses.
a compass with roses
and some pearls. That's the Incredible Hulk.
You got Courage the Cowardly Dog here.
Yeah, Courage.
So it's very interesting. Very interesting stuff. But we're kind of coming to the end of our show here, folks. Scott, this is the point where we give advice to the people at home. Is there any advice you want to give to the people and the folks at home here?
Like tattooing or just overall?
Overall, tattooing.
I would say be true to yourself. Make sure that you give your all into whatever you do in any craft and anything you do in life. You want to give your 110%. That way, you succeed in life, and that way, always try. Never give up on certain things. Stay passionate, never lose that, because once you lose your passion, you lost it all. I feel. So always stay true to yourself and stick to what you do and do what you do best.
Very well said. For me, follow what you want to do in life, because no one can ever stop you. Only you have the power to stop you. With that said, I'm Fred Cilbrith. This is Scott, and you'll see me and Dave Ryan and Dave King next week. See ya.